I didn't expect to see her that night, but of course my sister was never one to miss an audience, especially when the stage was me. Grandmother's birthday dinner, crystal glasses, polite smiles, and a storm brewing just beneath the tablecloth. Everyone was there, even the ones I'd erased from my life 2 years ago. I walked in, calm, deliberate, my silence louder than their fake greetings. But I could feel it, the tension in my sister's smirk, the anticipation in her glance. She was waiting for something, and I already knew what. Once she was my mirror, my confidant. When our parents turned love into control, she was the only one who said, "We'll get out someday." I believed her. I carried her secrets, protected her lies, even forgave her betrayals when they started small. The whispers, the rumors, the little sabotages meant to keep me beneath her. But the night I finally walked away from that family, she called me a coward. When I stopped answering calls, she called me selfish. And when I built a life away from their toxicity, she called me a liar. It started with messages, anonymous accounts, strange questions about my job, my apartment, my business. Then a friend forwarded me a post, a thread speculating that I was pretending to be successful. Same phrasing my sister used when she thought I couldn't hear her. I knew then, she wasn't just jealous, she was obsessed. She'd hired private investigators to track me, to expose me, all to prove her favorite family myth, that I couldn't survive without them. She wanted a show, so I gave her one. I didn't confront her, I didn't defend myself, I let her play, let her pay. Because the thing about hiring investigators is, they follow orders, and I knew how to make sure they followed mine. 2 months before the dinner, I reached out, indirectly. A favor called in from a friend in private security, the same agency my sister had contacted. I asked for something specific, a comprehensive report on me, my career, my assets, my life, everything verifiable, legal, undeniable, but written exactly as the investigator would. Except one thing would be different. The client listed wouldn't be my sister. It would be her husband. By the time the dinner came, I had rehearsed the moment 1,000 times. The room was soft gold, laughter forced. Grandmother smiled through the years like a fragile queen. Then my sister stood. "Before we cut the cake," she said, her voice too sweet, "I thought we should all hear something interesting." She gestured, and a man entered. Crisp suit, briefcase, professional smile. The investigator. My stomach didn't twist. My hands didn't shake. I had written this ending myself. He placed the report on the table. For a moment, the world went silent. "Everything about our dear prodigal sister," she announced. "Let's see the truth." Grandmother frowned. My mother looked excited, cruelly so. Then the investigator opened the file. Page 1. Summary of assets. Company ownership, property records, investment accounts. Figures that made my mother's smile falter. Page 2. Press mentions. Awards. My name, not just surviving, but thriving. My sister's expression stiffened, confusion spreading like frost. Then came the final section. Client information and secondary findings, the investigator read aloud. The table leaned forward. The client, Mrs. Laura Bennett, has been under observation as part of a related inquiry involving misuse of marital funds to hire private investigators without her husband's consent. The air cracked. Her husband turned slowly toward her. What? Her color drained. That's not true. But it was. Every receipt, every payment, every false identity she'd used, all documented, all legal, all hers. The investigator, still oblivious to the social bloodbath unfolding, continued. Additionally, surveillance confirmed multiple attempts to fabricate evidence of fraud against the subject. These were traced back to Mrs. Bennett's personal devices. Grandmother gasped. My mother whispered her name, horrified. Her husband stood. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just watched as she crumbled under the weight of her own performance. She left before dessert. The cake melted untouched on its stand. No one met my eyes, maybe because they finally saw what silence can do. I stayed until the end, thanking the waiter, holding my glass steady. When I finally stepped outside, the night felt lighter. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was running from something. I was walking through it. They'd called me a liar. Now, the truth had its own voice, and it spoke louder than all their noise combined. People say revenge doesn't heal. Maybe they're right. But sometimes it doesn't need to. Sometimes it just needs to remind them that the quiet ones are always the ones writing the final report.